Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome to DP Animations again. And today we are going to be creating a mosaic photo gallery or pictures in motion. All right. So not to waste time, let's open After Effects. Okay. So let me bring the assets or materials to be used. So I have these materials here. Let me load them in. Okay. All right. Let me create a folder, then put them in. Let me name the folder pictures. Now let me select the pictures, then place them inside the folder. Okay. Let me place them inside the folder. Okay. All right. So now let's start. First, let me create a new composition. Let me name it image 1. Image 1. Okay. Then the sizes, that's 1000. Okay. So this is a perfect box that I'm using. If you are using a video and is HD or the pictures are HD, you just have to go with 1920 by 1080 for the image composition. Okay. All right. So now let me load an image first. Okay. Hit S to scale it up. Okay. Now select rectangular masking 2. Then draw a square on the surface of the image. Something like this is okay. Now come to stroke and type something like 20 for the stroke. So you see we have drawn a square shape around the image. Okay. So once you are done with this, come to image 1. Okay. Select image 1, then duplicate it a couple of times. So let's go. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's say something like 18 is okay. Now let's open them and quickly change the image before we continue. Okay. So let me open all the images. Okay. So now let's replace the images within each of the image composition. So this image 18, let's replace it. Hit S, then scale it up. Okay. Let me delete the one under. Close it. Image 17. Let me clear it also. Hit S to scale it up. So let me be quick here. Okay. So just a second, then we continue. So what I'm doing now is just replacing the images within each of the compositions. Okay. So now that we are done changing the images, now let's continue. Let's create another composition here. Let's name it animation 1. Animation 1. Then the size, let's go 1920 by 1080. Okay. All right. Now let's create another composition and let's name this one Final 1920 by 1080. Then click OK. Okay. Now let's come to animation 1. Now inside animation 1, let's insert in a new solid layer. Okay. Then apply an effect called grade effect to it. Okay. So you have a grade on the solid layer. So now let's do some settings here on the grade effect. Let's come to the size form. Let's change from corner point to width slider. Okay. Then the width, let's go something like 359 for the perfect square. Okay. For the perfect square that we have for the images. All right. Now the border, let me make something like 10. Voila. So this is okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to insert the images inside these boxes. All right. Let me go to the browser window. So image 1. Let me bring image 1. then scale it up. Hit S for scale, then scale it. Okay. Now let me position it somewhere here. It's too small, so let me scale it up. So let me see, something like 36. 36 is okay. Okay. So now that we have the size that we want, all that you have to do is just duplicate. Control D to duplicate, then move it. Okay. Control D, you duplicate, then you move it. See that? Control D, you duplicate, then you move it. So let me select this one. Control D, you duplicate, then you move it. So after inserting the image in the first row, just click one and hold the shift key, then select the rest. Then you duplicate. Okay? Then you duplicate, then move the image to the top one. See that? So I think this is okay. Then after that, come to the left side of the image, then right click on the color column beside it, then change it to any color at all that you want. So let me change it to dark green so that I can differentiate between the rows. Okay. So now that you are done with this one, select the next row, then duplicate again. Okay, then bring the image down and drag it down. This way it will be faster. Okay, then change the color of this row to cyan. Okay, so let me duplicate this one too. Okay, then bring it down. Now we are done. Let me change the color of this one too to something like orange. Okay. So now that you are done arranging your image, all that you have to do is click and hold the control, then select the letter A to select the entire images in the scene. Okay. Then make them all 3D. Okay. Including the grid that you have under it too. Make all of them 3D. Okay. So now let's insert in a null object. Right click new, null object. Then let's name the null object image control. Then select all the images in the scene. Let me just select all the images. Make the image control 3D too. Okay. Make the image control 3D before you select the images, then link them or parent them to the image control. Okay. So in this case, wherever the image control goes, the images follow. You see that? You see? Okay. Okay, now let's bring a camera to the scene. So let's right click beside it, new, then camera. Okay. Hit OK. Then right click in again to insert another null object, new, null objects. Now let's name this null object cam control or camera control. Cam control. Okay. Then make it 3D. Then link the camera or parent the camera to the cam control. Alright? Okay. So this one, you know what I love to do most? That's applying effects to the cam control, which is the separate XYZ position. Separate XYZ position to the cam control for this first animation. Okay. So now that you have arranged all your items inside the first animation, what we are going to do is duplicate animation 1 twice to have 3 animation compositions. So 1, 2. So we have animation 1, animation 2, the animation 3. Okay. So now let's come to animation 1. Animation 1 is the first one. Okay. So now I want it to zoom in and bring the images to settle down. Okay. So on cam control, let me hit E. E is for effects. So on separate XYZ position, this is how I want the animation to end. Okay. So something like maybe 4 seconds. Let me end the entire animation on separate XYZ, then bring the timeline backwards. Okay. Then position Z position. Let's go. Something like this. Okay. So let me clear this animation, then set only for the Z. Okay. So select the two keys, then easy ease them. Okay, easy ease them. Then come to the graph editor, then pull one side in so that it will come in fast and settle slowly. So you have something like this. See? So this is how I want my first animation to come in as the intro. Okay. Okay. So what you are going to do next is we are just randomly going to move the images. Okay. Let's say we want to move this particular image. Randomly select the images, then animate them. Okay. So the first one, let me hold the shift key, then select one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Just randomly select them. Okay. Now after that, hit P for position. Then set a key for all of them. Then move the timeline to something backwards to something like 1 second. Okay. Then on Z position, move the images out. Okay. So move them out. All right. So something like this is okay. All right. So after that, you can select all the keys. All the animation that you selected, you can select all their keys, then easy ease them. Okay. So you have something like this. It comes in while this one comes in slowly. Okay. But we don't want them to come in together. So all that you have to do is just shift the layers. So maybe I'll move this one backwards. Move this one somewhere here. Just like this. See? Just shift the layers so that they all won't come in at the same time. Okay. Okay. So you have something like this. Let's see. See that? Simple. So maybe this is how I want my first animation intro to come in. Okay. Simple. So when you are done with this, all that you have to do is come to the bottom one, the grid, then hit Ctrl D to duplicate. Okay. Now the bottom one, let's change from the width to something like 20. Then the border to 1, so that we have tiny grid inside. You see this? Okay. So you have something like this. If you are still not satisfied with the animation, you can still animate. So maybe I want this one, this particular image. I want to animate this particular image. So maybe I'll set an ending key. Let me hit position, set an ending key there. Then move the timeline forward. Now you can come to Z, then animate, then move it. Okay. So now let's move it. Okay. So something like this is okay. Now hold the entire keys, then easy ease them. All right. So now you have something like this. So maybe let me move it to this side a bit. Okay, let me move it to this side a bit. Okay, so this side is okay. So let me see. Okay, not bad. So you have this. See? All right. So now all that you have to do next is just to replace the images. So let me replace the images quickly. So let me come to the project images here. So image 1, the first one, I'll leave it. So hold the Alt key. Okay, select the first image, hold the Alt key, then click and drag image 2 to replace it. Just like this. Hold the Alt key, then click and drag to replace. Okay, so let me quickly do this. So this is my first intro animation here. Okay, if you still want to work on this, you can still work on it. You can decide to set a background, a white image at the background. Okay, but let me leave it like this. Then go to animation 2. Okay, now animation 2. Let's come to rotation on camera. Okay, so let me just rotate the scene here a bit. Okay, so something like this is okay. Now let me select the separate XYZ. Then let me see on X position. Let me move the image in. Okay, then let me zoom it in a bit more. Okay, so this is okay. Let me see. Now let me rotate it a bit somewhere here. I think this is okay. Okay, this is okay. Let me zoom in more. Let me move it to the left side a bit. Okay, let me come under, move it downwards a bit. So this is okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the entire scene. Okay, or you can decide to do it like this. Move, let's say, the images, maybe this particular row, which is, let me see, that's the light blue row. This particular scene, you can decide to move the scene. Okay, so let me hit P on position. Okay, then let me set a key there. Then the beginning, let me move the entire image to maybe the left side. So let me move them this way. Okay, right. Now let me select the entire keys. Then easy ease them. Easy ease. See that? Then maybe this row also, let me see. Now let me close these rows first. Okay, so this one will be something like this. You see how it's moving? All right. So now let's do this. Let's use the camera separate XYZ to animate. All right. So maybe I want the animation moving from the right side to the left side. Okay, so I'll use separate XYZ position. Let me hit E for effects. So I'll use this one, you see, to animate. So let me undo. Then set a key on X. Then come to the beginning. Since this one is coming from the right side, the image row is coming from the left side to the right side. What I'll do is I'll move the animation to the left side. Okay, so it will be something like this. So that the entire scene will come from the right side. You see? So this, you are just randomly animating. Whatever style that you want, it depends on you. Okay? Okay. So now, what we are going to do is, let's come under, duplicate this particular image, the grid, under it. Then the bottom one, scale it up. Just blow it up. Okay. Then come to its width. Then change the width to something like 20. Then the border to 1. Okay, so that it will be tiny. All right. So like this is okay. Just a short animation within it. When do you yours, just take your time, then animate the kind of style that you want. So maybe I want, whilst it's just there's a bit of movement here, I want this particular image, let me see this one, to come up. Okay, so I'll hit P for position. Then on 4 seconds, let me set an ending key. Then move the timeline to something like 1 second. Then move the image up. See that? You can decide to maybe bring it forward so that it will cover some of these ones. See? It's your own style. So just play around with it. Okay? So something like this is okay. So somewhere there. Then let me bring the in. So you have something like this. Okay. Then it settles down. You see? So just randomly move the images the way you want. Okay? There may be this particular one. It's already animated. So let me select this one. Hit P on it. Okay. And let me set an ending key. Then bring it forward. Timeline forward. Then let me see. Z, then move it up. Okay. Move it up more. See that? Okay. So you have something like this. Now let me set the keys, then easy ease them. See that? Beautiful. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, maybe the beginning one, I want it also to up a bit more, this one. So I hit P on position, set an ending key, then move the timeline forward, then move it up a bit. Okay, so this one is okay here. Something like this is okay. Let me easy ease them. Okay, so I think you are done here. Too slow. So let me see. Let me move this one in so that this one will settle in first before the rest come in. So it's okay. So let's come to the third animation. How does we want this one to come in? Maybe this one, I want, whilst it's zooming in, the rows will be moving. I think, let me see, let me hit rotation, then set this one well. So something like this, then this, then let me, then let me see, bring the image towards us. So I think something like this is okay. Okay, let me move this one in a bit more. Okay, so this is okay. So this one, I won't waste time. I'll just use the rows to do the animation. It depends on you. How I did the example on animation too, you can see the same thing. Whatever style that you want, it depends on you. Okay, so this one, maybe I'll select the middle row animation. maybe this one. Let me see. That's the light blue one. Let me select all of them. Okay. Let me move this one up a bit. Then on something like 4 seconds, let me move it to, let me move them out a bit more. Okay. Then set a key. Let me hit P on position, set a key. Right. And move the timeline backwards. Then move them in. Okay, so you have something like this. I think something like here is okay. Now select the entire keys. Then easy ease them. Okay. Now let me close them in. Now the next one is the sound color. Let me select all of them. Then something like 4 seconds. Hit P for position. Okay. Okay. So 4 seconds, on 4 seconds, let me move the entire row to the right side. Okay. Let me move the entire row to the right side. Then set a key. Then move the timeline backwards. Then move the row to the left side. Okay. So let me see, you have something like this. It's moving the same way. So let me select the entire keys. Then right click, keyframe assistant, time reverse keyframes. Then let's see. Okay. So I think this is okay. So let me easy ease them. Okay. So this is okay. So maybe I want this one, the bottom ones, this particular one. Let me hit P. I want it to move upwards as the animation is coming in. So this one, I'll set an ending key. Then middle somewhere here, I'll just move it out on position. You see that? Let me just move it out here. Okay. So easy ease. Let me easy ease this one. Then go to keyframe assistant. Then move one side in. Okay. So you have something like this. See? Okay. So if you are done with the animation that you want to your own desire, then you come to the finals. Then arrange the entire thing here. So on animation 3, let me do the final thing, which is duplicate the grid, Control D. Then the bottom one, let me scale it up. Okay. Go to the grid effects, then change from width to 20. Then the border to 1. Okay. Now let me come to the final. So what I'll do at the final is this. Our first animation, the one we did first, I'll bring it in. Then something like on 4 seconds, I'll cut it here. Then duplicate it. Then animation 2, hold the Alt key, then bring it down. Duplicate it. Animation 3, hold the Alt key, bring it also down. Now all that you have to do is just arrange them. Okay, so this one comes when it's going to end. This one also comes in. Okay, so somewhere here, in between here and here, just edit it. Cuts, that's Control Shift D to split the layer. Okay, then in between here and here, before this one settles down, the next one also comes in. At this point, you are just editing. Okay. Just arrange it like this. Then you are done. So you have something like this. I'm coming. So let's see our final scene. You see? So that it will be changing. Okay. So with this, if you want in between each cut points, you want some kind of transition. It's simple. Just let's create a transition for that. Let's right click in new solid layer, white. Okay. Then come to mask, rectangular mask, then draw a rectangle. Okay. Now select the 2 key points, then move them backwards. All right. So you have something like this. Now come to mask 1. Inside mask 1, let's select the mask. Okay. Now move the mask out. Move it out. Then set a key on mask path. Move the timeline forward, then move the mask to move across the scene. So you have something like this. So this is what we have. Too fast. So let me open it. You see that? Okay. See? Okay. So now if what we have there is okay for us, then this is what you are going to do. Just duplicate the mask 1 so that you have mask 2. Then open mask 2. Then let's bring the mask 1 keys backwards a bit. So that once it comes in, the mask 2 will also follow. Okay. So let's have something like this. Now let's duplicate mask 2 to have mask 3. Then let's move mask 3 in a bit so that it will be a bit far from these ones. So you have something like this. See that? You can select all the keys, the ease them if you want. Let me see. Okay. All right. So let me leave it like this. Then let's try to. So between the cut points or cut scenes, see how this one move across. Let's see. You see? So just duplicate this one too to this side. Let me see. You see? So now you are done with your animation. So let's see. This one comes in. I'm coming. So now let's see. Comes in. Then the transition will come, reveal the next one. Come again, reveal the next scene. Okay. So the first one will come. Then the transition will come, reveal the next scene. Come again, then reveal the final scene. You see, it's as simple as that. All right. But please, when doing yours, take your time and arrange and animate it well, because I don't want us to waste too much time on this. I want us to finish quickly. That's why I did this randomly for you to understand how it works. Okay. I'd love to see what you come up with this. All right, guys. So please kindly like, subscribe, and comment. Okay. All right. See you next time, guys.